I fully understand, receive, and but I have a kind of cautionary feeling that this is, in some ways, came to a type of fundamentalism. When people believe that there's a calamity, their sense I didn't please and I did not displease at the same time. We make a bet, a positive or a negative impact on the world, like the Middle East right now. For at least 1,500 years, like in America, you don't dream that far, where you have the international or global view, you don't react to the oath, and you know that your localization is good and the other bad on the VPS. So there is a pair of opposites in the moral, and every ideology has a counterbalance to keep the body. So I might say that it's the soul of the world, the Ebi Mondai. So I'd like to gauge this lack of seeing and hope. I'd rather dig deeper and find it and the bare good. And I know how he used it, the consequences. Nobody knows the consequences of the action. If we look over time, there is a certain limit that shows us the bell distribution of the bell curve. And if we take the long-term view, then we see that it's an inevitable growth process. Sometimes when people shift this, they see that they were terrible in their childhood, for example, and they figure out that it takes at least a lifetime to shift. And in light of the idea of the moral relativism, it's culturally appropriate to say, well, there used to be slavery. Why would we not have it now? And there is like a habit, and there's some forced physical stuff that feels like a violation of the violin and perennial values, like evolving into perennial plants, and so on, and the Song Nusa Lemogan. So if we stay and write the books, then we evolve in this morality, and we know that the amygdala has a cortical event stimuli that's evoked from the outside world and breaks a shell ring. So we label these things, and it's not a perception of the body acting in a different way. That's a terikta and formation. 4 or 5 months, they figure out that didn't see the wine because none of it was served, but it's here. And in order to capture the prey and fool them into misleading the predator, infatuating in this metaphorical way, now I know both sides of the person. I still love the person. I was confusing it with love, but now I know it is collateous or collateral or a nightmare. And then we discovered that there's a part of society that does not like this prism. And those two sides of complete awareness is there's a beautiful caved in community of opposites. Morality starts with the amygdala and then sinks to the cortex and sees the things objectively. It just doesn't see it. It's an absolute kind of morality, eventually going to the relativism and homonetics. And it allows it to stop, not immediately react, but see things as they are, because we are labeling things only to finding out that there's completeness to it. And it's morally ascended value systems and time space were never ascended, so life and death. All these things that we label good and bad throughout history have been there, and they've been labeled. And who is believing very strongly in eliminating anything that's not my belief and thinking outside of that box. And the Western world thinks that I'm doing something evil, and any advantage or disadvantage of my value is ton. And it thinks it's good, something is layering upon it, which is true. And my belief is an observation of pain. And how do you find both of these things at the same time? Opposite. A slight meaning in it, you're right, he's wrong, it's dangerous, it's not. And the very thing is eliminated. Anything we're trying to avoid, we keep running into. Asking the question, is there a what's up? Is there a WhatsApp? And is there a what is up? What is the upside? Does the person see the gazebo? Can they effectively learn to figure this out together? And I really have a hard time with this, because if I went home and somebody was insulting my wife or my husband, my differences in opinion and the ontology of morality and values, I had a good time, and someone was assaulting, probably. 100% certainly, maybe this is his belief, this argument, and I'm going to react in this setting opposite to my morality. And it's not like I'm going to stop them perceptually. I don't believe that there's actual evil. I think that we have an actual devil. This is an anthropomorphism, believing that there's an event there, something that a person does. If you value it, then you protect it. And that's good in your perspective. If you value and support, then you know that something is challenging. The theater is seen very differently. And I'm not the one to say that what I'm doing in the moment is favorable. Probably so. But then I'm going to be in a situation, now I'm going to go, okay, now I've saved something, and I took a pill, and there was no moral system there. It was just self-defense with antibiotics. And now I just killed some bacteria. And now I have to decide if I have the belief that there's saying that this one and that, and saving because that's the situation that you put yourself in. I'm not going to make it good or bad. I'm not going to fat shame. I'm not going to jeep the ho out of it. Unless I'm trying to live in overprotection and anxiety. I'd rather hurt with that opposition speech. So there's a Bradica, like a brassy kind of put on that's corrected in a way that's saving many lives, getting kind of deranged, and asking again and again, dude, are you okay? Are you alright?